Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, June 14th. Thank you so much for joining into our weekly healthcare reform webinars. My name is Deb Wilkinson. I'm the Vice President of the Health Plan Options Department at URL. My duties include overseeing the traditional group market, self-funded group market, the ancillary employee benefits, short-term medical, and what is left of the individual market in Pennsylvania. I appreciate everyone joining in. I encourage you to ask questions. This helps me, obviously, learn as well as research some, obviously, questions that you're getting in the field so that I can get you the answers as well. And there are one of two ways to ask questions. You can raise your hand icon, which is to the right of your screen in your control panel, or you can type questions into the question box and I'll answer those at the end of the webinar. So for those of you that are new to the webinar, you probably don't realize I have a lot of technical issues and challenges. So just with a show of your electronic hands, if you can let me know if you can see my screen and hear me okay, that would help me out a lot. And I don't see any hands. That's not good. Oh, there are hands. Perfect. Excellent. All right. Well, let's get right into the agenda. Oh, went a little too far. So a lot of spin is going on. I've read no less than 6 articles this week about Texas and the 19 other states that filed the lawsuit. And of course, the spin is out there that everyone's going to lose pre-existing conditions. President Trump is doing away with pre-existing conditions, Medicaid terminations, pricing for those with pre-X will be higher. So there's a lot of spin. And of course, the Department of Justice will not be defending the lawsuit and let it go where it will. But there are very few people that think this lawsuit has any teeth to it. Essentially, they're saying since the individual mandate was zeroed out, that since it's not severable from the entire law, that it then makes the individual mandate and the entire law null and void. So again, that's a huge leap, and it's definitely a huge leap from the lawsuit being filed to all of the, the death spiral and the end of ACA naysayers out there. Even on the slight chance that something gets through the Supreme Court, each state will still have the ability to adhere or not. I mean, it's not going to be one size fits all. So on to the next bullet point, Vermont is the latest state to move forward with state individual mandates. So you can see all the other states that have or will have something similar. So again, even if this comes in from the federal government, the states have the ability to adapt or adopt this law as they see fit for the most part. So for those of you that are going to get questions from your clients on, will their pre-existing conditions be covered? Absolutely. There's nothing that is going to change that, at least unless this law gets through and the entire world comes crumbling down. So I'm not concerned about it. I did actually talk to the PAHU Ledge Chair, Jessica Waltman, yesterday because I just wanted to get her take on it as well. And, she had a lot of great insight. So my point is, don't worry. If your clients come to you, please, quell their fears. It's a huge leap from the lawsuit being filed to gloom and doom. Bezos, Buffett, and Dimon, they had an article out that they found the person to run their joint health venture. If you recall, Amazon and Berkshire Hathaway, and I can't think of the other company, excuse me, the one that Dimon runs, excuse me, they are joining together to kind of offer a self-insured program for their employees. So that name of the person that is running that joint venture will be announced soon. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but it is something that I thought was important to at least share. This one is very curious. More states plan to use the silver loading strategy in 2019. We saw that definitely last year, where because for individual health, since the subsidies are based on the lowest cost silver plan in the state, in their area, they load up and increase the silver plans so that the subsidy is greater, and it kind of disguises the huge increases that unsubsidized folks have been experiencing. The subsidized folks were kind of insulated from that. We saw that last year with one of the carriers. Their silver rates were higher than gold rates. So Secretary Azar, pardon me, said that it's too late, obviously, to do anything about 2019. He didn't commit to saying that there would be a provision that would prohibit this in 2020. But again, I thought it was worth mentioning. And we talked about this last week. Pennsylvania Insurance Commissioner Jessica Altman, not to be confused with our PAHU Ledge Chair Jessica Waltman, said that the rate increases for PA on the individual side, average filing is about 4.9%, on groups about 3%. 31 of the 67 counties will have more choices this year on the individual platform than they did last, and only 8 counties will have one choice as compared to 20 counties last year. Pennsylvania is at an all-time low for uninsured at 5.6. We did relatively well even prior to ACA with a lot of our provisions. We were a great state for health insurance prior to that. So, you know, it is good that there are less uninsured folks walking around Pennsylvania, and that's our insured rate. So moving on to carrier information, Aetna's AFA in the 5 to 50 market, there was always a challenge if you had hires or new enrollees after the fact. So now you can enroll employees and their dependents in the AFA platforms post-sale through the Springboard system. And there are complete details in this week's newsletter under the product news. So if you work with the Springboard and write Aetna's AFA, you'll want to check that out because that's a huge improvement. Cap Blue Cross, they have a new group termination request form. It is fillable. I have it attached to the webinar, and it's also in the newsletter, but if you want me to email that to you, just shoot me an email and I'm happy to get that out to you. Also in the Cap Blue Cross, under product news, it has details on their new telehealth vendor, the wellness program that's being renamed from Healthy Rewards to Healthy Blue Rewards. So all of that information would be important to your clients that are insured with Capital. There's also another article that I put in. Disability Awareness Month was last month, but there are some good stats in there. And for those of you that write group health with URL, it might be a good way to revisit your groups, talk about those stats for disability and disability in the employment space. And if you want to get a quote to further protect them, I'm happy to help you with that, either short-term disability or long-term disability. There's a lot of ways to protect employees because of disability. So if you, again, write your group health with us and you want to get a quote for your groups for short-term or long-term disability, reach out to me and I'm happy to help you with that. We talked about last week, the 2019 employer affordability will increase from 9.56 to 9.86 for 2019. I also included the FPL levels. You can see that it is slightly increasing for 2019. Also important to note, June 19th, which is next Tuesday, we are having a seminar here at URL. Matt Alina is running that seminar, and it's really going to be geared towards Medicare agents and how to drive new revenue through final expense sales. There's also a life summer bonus. So if you are interested, if you're in the Medicare market or even in the final expense market for that matter, and want to learn more about the bonus and the, the cross-selling, then please register for the 19th. It is in my newsletter, even though it's a Life Markets event. I thought it was, again, important for this audience since I do have some Medicare agents on the line. And also, keeping with the Medicare Connections, which is our annual conference at Hershey Lodge, that has been set for September 5th. That is a great event, well attended, a lot of great speakers. The carriers come out and give you all a preview of what their plans will look like for the selling season for 2019, and it's certainly valuable to many of our agent partners. So save that date if you're in that Medicare market because it is an important event. That's pretty much it for the agenda. I will be back here Thursday, June 21st, next Thursday, but at this time, we're going to open it up for questions. So if you have questions, let me just put your hands down. If you have questions, go ahead and raise your hand. In the meantime, I will answer. Okay. There is one question. Rhonda asks about the individual mandate. She, just wants clarification if the individual mandate is going away for 2019 or 18. And it is going away. It ends for coverage starting January 1st, 2019. And the individual mandate is still there, the requirement to have qualified health plan. But the difference is that the penalty, instead of being 2.5% of your income or $695 per person, has been zeroed out. So the penalty per se is still there. It's just that the penalty is zero. That starts 2019. For those insureds on the individual market or not insured for 2018 in qualified coverage, either through employer or on the individual market, they are going to be subject to the tax penalty for 2018 tax year. Hope that helps. Any other questions? Let's see what we have. No other questions and no hands raised. So as always, I certainly appreciate you joining in every week. And if you have questions, here's my contact information. I encourage you to reach out to me. If I don't know the answer, I'm happy to research it. Again, it helps me be more informed to help you. So as always, I appreciate everyone joining in. I wish you all a great balance of the week and a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.